Alright guys, we're out in the woods today and we're going leprechaun hunting. Now these elusive little guys are really hard to find, but when you find one, you must maintain eye contact. If you don't, they might flee, but if you maintain eye contact and you catch one, he can take you to his pot of gold. I thought I've seen one moving back here earlier today. We're going to track him.
Hands go up, hands come down. I can turn myself around. I can stand on one shoe. I can listen, so can you. Let's sit down, I'll show you how. Story time is starting now. It's time for story time. Hi, welcome back to Story Time. We've got a super special story time today because this week is another fun holiday. This week is St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day, that's a fun holiday that comes from Ireland. And there are a number of things that we do to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. First of all, we wear the color green. So today I've got on my green t-shirt for St. Patrick's Day because we wear green. Also, there are certain symbols that we associate with St. Patrick's Day. One of those symbols is a shamrock. That's a special kind of leaf that has 3 humps on it. And if you're super lucky, you can find a 4-leaf one, and then you'll have especially good luck. Also for St. Patrick's Day, we talk about a special kind of creature, and that creature is a leprechaun. A leprechaun. So for our story today, we are reading The Luckiest Leprechaun. Now, I like to wonder about my stories before I read them, so on this book, we have our leprechaun right here. Our leprechaun is wearing his green jacket. That's one of the essential traits of any leprechaun. They wear green. And he's very, very short because you can see he's only the height of a puppy dog. Now, I wonder what this leprechaun is doing with this puppy dog. I guess we're going to have to read our story and find out. This is The Luckiest Leprechaun. Mackenzie O'Shamrock at your service, but you can call me Mac. I'm a leprechaun, and I don't care if you believe me or not. Get too close and I'll show you who's real with my hammer. I may be small, but we leprechauns are not to be trifled with. There, now that's all settled. Pull up a toadstool or a chair if you're too big, and I'll tell you my story. So here's Mac the leprechaun. I was born beneath a fairy hill back when time was new. Ever since I've been making shoes for the fairy folk and guarding my gold from greedy people. Treasure hunters have to get up pretty early in the morning to get the best of Mackenzie O'Shamrock. And since leprechauns work at night and sleep during the day, I'm up much earlier than most. No, they haven't made the human yet who could outsmart me. So humans try to go after Mac's gold, but he's too smart for them. Then people found a new way to boil my potatoes. They stopped believing in leprechauns. They believed in all sorts of nonsense, but the little man making shoes beneath their very own hedge couldn't possibly exist. It got so only children and oddballs like Professor Chester believed in me. I didn't need people anyway. I had a nice home under a tree in a quiet park. As long as I had my gold and my work, this leprechaun was content. Every night I cobbled for the fairies. Since all the little things do is dance and lose their shoes, business was steady. Every morning I'd pack away my tools and curl up in my cozy bed. And that's just what I was doing one fine morning when I heard a horrible scratching overhead. Dirt poured down on my favorite armchair as a pair of giant paws burst through the ceiling. My thimble collection clattered to the floor. I grabbed my hammer and ran outside to see who was wrecking my home. I expected a goblin or some other horrible monster. What do you think it is that's wrecking the leprechaun's home? I found a shaggy red dog burying a stinky soup bone. "Hello," she barked. "Who are you?" "I'm Mackenzie O'Shamrock," I shouted, "and you've got some nerve destroying my home. You'll not be stealing my gold, you mangy mortal, so just take your bone and go." "I'm sorry, I didn't realize anyone was living here," the dog said. "Is that your gold? It's very pretty." "Go! Shoo! You get lost!" I shouted. The dog didn't budge. Shaking her head, she said, "I feel terrible. I've got to make this up to you. I'll fix your house. I'll be your guard dog." "I don't need a guard," I said. "But you must need a friend. Everyone needs friends," the dog said. "My name is Lucky. What's yours?" That made me even madder. "Mackenzie O'Shamrock," I yelled. "Oh, that's right. You did tell me," Lucky replied. "But that's so much to remember. May I just call you Mac? I hope we'll be friends. Everything's more fun when you do it together, don't you think? Just the other day, Lucky would have gone on like that for hours, but I told her to go away and stay away. Apparently, stay was the only command the dumb dog knew. From then on, wherever I went, there was Lucky. She was slobbering over me when I woke up at dusk. She was on my heels while I gathered cobwebs for thread. Lucky even tailed me when I made my deliveries to the fairies. And she always had a cheerful word, or 100. It drove me nuts. That dog was even happy when it rained. "Rain is where rainbows come from," Lucky said. "I love rainbows, don't you? I could chase them all day." "Why don't you go chase them so I can get some quiet around here?" I growled. Uh-oh. Mac the leprechaun and Lucky the dog haven't got off to the greatest start. After a while, Lucky learned not to talk so much, especially when I first woke up in the evening. I won't say we became friends, but she got to be slightly less annoying. Speaking of annoying, remember that human I mentioned a while back, the oddball who believed in leprechauns? That's right, Professor Chester. Well, he started snooping around my park. Uh-oh. What's Professor Chester going to do? "He's after my gold!" I cried. "Maybe he just wants to be friends," Lucky suggested. I snorted. "Humans only want one thing from a leprechaun: gold. But he won't get the best of Mackenzie O'Shamrock." Professor Chester was getting dangerously close. He even found a fairy shoe. "Don't worry, Mac," said Lucky. "You've got your guard dog, remember? I won't let anything happen to your gold." I took no comfort in the mutt's ravings. I watched Professor Chester poring over his books of leprechaun lore. "If only I could prove their existence," he muttered. I shuddered. "Maybe he'll just go away," Lucky said. I thought about packing up, but I liked my cozy life under the tree. Besides, business was good, and it's not so easy to find a park filled with fairies. Then one day while I was sleeping, the professor found my tree. He was about to capture me, and would have gotten my gold for sure, when... Woof, 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 woof. Lucky came charging out of the woods. The professor cried, "Help! Monster, help!" He dropped his map and ran off screaming. I thought I was having a nightmare. I rolled over with a groan and fell right back to sleep. Professor Chester just kept running until he wore out the soles of his shoes. Turned out the professor was scared of dogs. That's silly. He was scared of dogs? But it turns out, I guess Lucky did save Mac. That evening, I woke up feeling something was wrong. For one thing, the dumb dog wasn't licking my face. Suddenly, with a jerk, I remembered the nightmare. I checked for my gold in my secret hiding places. It was gone, and so was Lucky. I called Lucky's name until my voice was hoarse, but there was no answer. I felt as if I had lost my shadow and my friend. Then it hit me. My worst fear had come true. The dog wasn't as silly as she seemed. Lucky duped me into trusting her, and as soon as I let down my guard, she'd run off with my gold. I, Mackenzie O'Shamrock, the smartest leprechaun of them all, had finally been tricked out of my treasure. Do you think Lucky really ran off with the gold? I don't know. I think Mac might be jumping to conclusions. I searched the park for hours, but there was no sign of my gold or of Lucky. I told myself the dog had skipped off with my treasure, but part of me didn't believe it. One minute I was furious. The next, I was worried. What if the stupid pooch had chased a rainbow into traffic, or gotten herself taken to the pound? I couldn't even keep my mind on my missing gold. Oh, he misses Lucky. By dawn, I was the saddest leprechaun in the world. After centuries of being suspicious, I'd finally opened my heart, and pow! The first friend I'd made had stolen my gold. The sun came up, and I wiped away a tear. Then a voice behind me said, "Why are you crying?" I turned and saw Lucky and my gold. "Where were you?" I yelled. "I was worried sick." Lucky licked my face. "You do care. I knew we'd be friends." I wiped the dog slobber from my face and grumbled, "I was worried about my gold." Lucky explained that she'd seen Professor Chester nosing near my tree. After she chased him away, she'd hidden my treasure in the tool shed just to make sure it was safe. Then, worn out from the excitement, she'd fallen asleep. "Did you really spend all night looking for me?" Lucky asked. "Yeah, well, and the gold," I added hastily. But the damage was done. The dog knew I cared, and she wouldn't stop wagging her tail over it. So there's my story. Leprechaun gets gold, Leprechaun gets dog. Leprechaun loses gold. Leprechaun admits that a loyal friend is worth more than gold, as long as the friend doesn't slobber too much. Now, if that isn't a tale worth telling upon a toadstool, I'm sure I don't know what is. So Max the leprechaun, who was determined not to have any friends, finally realized that having a friend was even more special than having lots and lots of gold. That's a pretty good lesson. I like that story. Now, for St. Patrick's Day, we've got leprechauns and gold, and our leprechaun has on his special leprechaun clothes, which are what color again? Green! Green is a very important color for St. Patrick's Day, but sometimes it's hard for me to remember what things are green and what things aren't. I want to use as many green things as possible this St. Patrick's Day. Can you help me figure out which of these things are green and which ones aren't? Let's go take a look.
Can you help me find things that are green for St. Patrick's Day? Is this something that's normally green? Yes, this is grass, and when you take care of it properly, grass is green. Good job. Is this something that's normally green? No, this is a fire truck, and most of the time fire trucks are red. They need to be a bright color so you can see them coming. Is this something that's normally green? Yes, this is a frog, and most of the time frogs are green, although there are some kinds of frogs that are all sorts of other fun colors. Is this something that's normally green? Yes, this is broccoli, and broccoli is usually green. Some people don't like broccoli, but I think it's yummy. Is this something that's usually green? No, this is a stop sign, and stop signs are red. In fact, in just about anything involving traffic, red means stop, and green means go. Is this something that's usually green? Yes, this is a $1 bill, and in America, dollar bills are green, but in other countries, they can come in all sorts of different colors. Is this something that's usually green? Well, yes and no. Most of the time during the year leaves are green, but in the fall some leaves turn all sorts of beautiful yellows and oranges and reds before they fall off the trees. So leaves could be green or they could be a different color. Is this something that's usually green? Yes, these are shamrocks, and shamrocks are green. That's one of the reasons why leprechauns love them so much. We found a bunch of different green things, but now it's time to head back to the library for our leprechaun dance. Let's go!
Okay, it is time for our leprechaun dance. Now for our leprechaun dance, there are 4 moves that we need to learn. These are the leprechaun's 4 dance moves that he likes to do in his dance. The first one is just dance. So you can do any sort of dance move that you want to do. That's just a general dance. The second one is bow. So we are going to take a leprechaun bow. The third one is we are going to clap. So we're going to clap our hands. And the fourth one is we are going to jump up and down like a leprechaun. Are you ready for our leprechaun dance? Let's get to it.
Wow, look at all you leprechauns. We should have a dance party. A leprechaun dance party. Dance, dance, leprechaun dance, 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 leprechaun dance, 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 leprechaun dance. Do a dance for me. Get up and dance, you leprechauns. Kick up your heels. Yee-haw! Bow, bow, leprechaun bow. Bow, bow, leprechaun bow. Bow, bow, leprechaun bow. Do a bow for me. Bow to your left and bow to your right. Bow to your left, bow to your right. Clap, clap, leprechaun clap, 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 leprechaun clap, 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 leprechaun clap. Do a clap for me. Clap for your fellow leprechauns. Everybody's doing such a good job. Jump, jump, leprechaun jump, 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 leprechaun jump, 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 leprechaun jump. Do a jump for me. Jump to your left and jump to your right. Jump to your left and jump to your right. Dance, dance, leprechaun dance, 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 leprechaun dance, 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 leprechaun dance. Do a dance for me. Do a dance for me. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
There he is. We're moving in. Hey, little leprechaun. Take me to your pot of gold, little leprechaun.